Today, we're going to be ranking the 10 worst habits that ruins people's financial lives. And these bad habits will range from mild bad habits to severely horrific habits that will ruin the rest of your life. And frankly, some of these habits might actually offend some people. And with all of that said, let's get started. Number 1. We got instant gratification. I would argue that this is very bad for you in all aspects of your life, including your day-to-day life, your career, your studying, your work, whatever it is. However, with that said, in this scenario, we're talking about specifically finances. And there's a whole wide range of things that could count as instant gratification when it comes to finances. For an example, let's just say you really want a new iPhone. But at the moment, you don't have enough money. You're in debt. Your credit card debt is worth $3,000. You have $500 in your bank account. But you really want that brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max. And so tomorrow, you just go ahead. You go to the Apple store. You buy the brand new iPhone. You sign up for some loan so that you can pay it off for the next 24 months, just like a car. And then you're locked in. Now you have your brand new iPhone. You had to get it. Instead of working on your debt, instead of paying off all of your debt first, you had to get your phone first. And as a result, now you're in more debt. That is an example of instant gratification. And the fact that it could range so widely from how severe it is, aka with the iPhone example, or how minor it could be, well, because of that, I'm going to place it into B tier. Aka, it's okay. It's not going to ruin your life financially if you keep the habit up, but it could. And that's the key. Especially if all you do is instant gratification, then it could build up. And eventually, 5 months from now, you look back at your finances and you look back at all the snacks, all the treats you gave yourself and how much it added up. That is when you realize that instant gratification could actually be a serious finances killer. Next up, we got lifestyle creep. Now, this is definitely an S tier. My bad. I've seen it over and over on YouTube again, how this ruins people's household finances all across of America. Every single time that they get paid more, their lifestyle just keep going up. They keep taking more vacation. They keep buying new iPhones. They keep buying new stuff. And they never save. They never invest their money. They never do anything with it. And so, because of that, bills start to build on bills and bills. A lot of Americans never go anywhere financially because of this habit. And it's also because of consumerism. People just want shinier and better things whenever they're in a more accessible position to get that very same shiny thing. And it kind of ties back to instant gratification, where whenever you get a pay raise, you just spend your money. You just blow your money instead of saving it, instead of investing it. And that was exactly my point with instant gratification, how if you let it, it could be really bad for your financial life. And with that said, now you have the knowledge, maybe the next time that you get a pay raise, just practice some financial discipline and invest your money instead of increasing your lifestyle. And having said that, next up, we got looking rich. Now, this is also S tier. And I believe that the reason why it's S tier is very apparent. Looking rich doesn't get you anywhere in life, especially when you're in a financial position to not be able to do so. Have you seen those pictures of those billionaires walking around in their PJs? Do you really think those billionaires really care about looking rich, about having 5 Lamborghinis, about having 5 yachts? No. And yet they still have a lot more zeros in their bank account than you. So with that said, first off, let me ask you this question. Why do you care about looking rich if it's not making you any money? Well, you might be saying your ego, or you want to feel good. Okay, now we have identified that. Let's work on our mindset and how to actually make money. There's other ways to feel rich. For an example, if you make enough money, you would then feel rich instead of faking your wealth. Let's just say tomorrow you go out, you work on that side hustle, or you work on that YouTube video, and then it blows up because of your hard work. And now you have made a couple extra K's in your bank account. There you go. There's a reason to feel rich without faking it. That's the key. When it comes to money and making money, I believe that your mindset is a lot more valuable than how you look and how you appear, because Listen, if you appear just looking clean and dressed formally, that's all you need. You don't need to look rich. Feeling rich is a lot more important because 1, it's free, and 2, it actually makes you money. Looking rich, that doesn't make you money. Unless you're in specifically a very high-end and formal meeting. Except those scenarios, you don't need to look rich. Go out there, make that money, build your confidence internally, and then you'll feel rich, and then you actually be rich. Next up, we got credit card debts. This is definitely going to S tier once again. My bad. We got a lot of S tiers today because a lot of these habits are horrific. And credit card debt, specifically using credit card as an excuse for you to keep blowing your money, is definitely one of them. This is the reason why so many Americans are in credit card debt up to their eyeballs. And that's simply because of the fact that they don't treat their credit card balances as actual money that they have spent. They would put their bills on the credit card and then just pay it off at the end of the month. But the problem with that is that it allows them to not see it as real money. And that encourages them to spend more and more and more, especially with all the points that you can earn from specifically spending in this category, For an example, let's just say you barely have money in your actual bank account, but you just paid your bills using your credit card because you barely have money in your bank account. People keep going out because, technically you haven't used any money from your debit card. You're good. You still have money. So they go out, they buy food, they treat themselves, they actually use their credit cards to go on vacation, they go to Disney, they go to whatever. And then at the end of the month, instead of just having their bills to pay, now they have all the expenses and now they're in deep debt. Congratulations. But hey, technically in your checking account, you still have $500. You're good. But that's $6,000 in credit card debt. Don't worry about that. We can pay it off next month. And we'll just pay off the minimum amount this month, which is like $40. We're good. And that is exactly how so many Americans build up generational debt. And these knowledge are then pushed onto their kids and their kids' kids. It's just horrendous. People need to know that credit card is just a minor benefit to society if you use it correctly. However, if you use it the wrong way, it could actually ruin your finances and your whole life, as a matter of fact. People have filed bankruptcy because of their immense credit card debt. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to pay the bill. So just do it now, before the interest rate hit. This is how so many banks make so much money from the average American being in credit card debt. Because a lot of people aren't financially responsible. They just keep paying the minimum payment. And the banks just keep taking money away from you. And that's exactly what happened. So please, stop giving the banks money. They have already had enough. Next up, we got saying yes. Specifically, the optional events that your friends invite you to, or even your family. Now, I will put this one into C tier. Because, yes, I do agree that making memories is really, really important. But specifically when you're in debt or you're doing bad with your finances, you probably shouldn't be saying yes to every single thing that your friends invite you to. Now, this goes back to instant gratification. You can't say no because saying yes is easier. It's more fun and you can make your friends happy by saying yes. But again, you're in debt. So why are you going out on Friday night to blow $100 or whatever at a bar? You shouldn't be doing that. You're in debt. Or even worse, why'd you say yes to that Japan trip that's coming up in 3 months when at the moment you're in credit card debt up to your eyeballs? Why? For this specific habit, I would say that it could get really bad. But if you don't let it get too bad, it could just be at C tier or even at D tier. Just because, yes, memories are important, especially when you're young. However, take care of your finances first. Please. And also, that brings me to another issue. Saying yes to every single thing, even when you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it and you think it's a waste of your time and you think you won't have any fun and any value from it, learn to say no. Please. It will save you money, it will save your valuable time, and it will save your energy. You gotta protect your energy, especially from stuff that you don't want to do. Next up, we got not being able to pass up on an Amazon Prime deal, or just deals in general, to be honest. Have you ever just stayed up until 2 a.m. at night and you're just bored lying there? And so you go on Amazon and you look at the deals and you're like, whoa, 30% off on this cool thing that I have always wanted? always wanted, quote unquote. And then you go ahead and you buy that thing because you totally need it. And so it comes and then you use it for 1 week and then you never ever use it again. Have you ever had an experience like that? I know I have. And I'm telling you, it is a complete waste of money. Deals on Amazon or in stores in general is just another form of an ad. They are exploiting people's sense of consumerism. If it was at the original price, you would have probably not gotten that item. But since it's 30-40% off, it's such a special deal now, you're like, wow, I need to get this, when you never would have bought it at the original price. And because of that, I am putting it at A tier. This is pretty bad and it's also, as I said, a complete waste of money. The next time you see a good deal, before you are tempted to buy it, sit down and reflect upon yourself. Take out a piece of paper and a pen. Write it down. Is this a need item for you? If that's a yes, that's good. Now answer the second question. Would you have considered to buy this item if you hadn't gone Amazon just now and seen the deal? Would you have needed the item then? If that's still a yes, then go ahead. I would say buy the item. But if one of those is a no, I want you to reconsider your choice right now. Next up, we got say no to investing. This one is definitely S tier. Now, yes, I agree with you. It's not that bad. You're not going into negatives for it. You're not losing any money. You're not going into any debt. However, the opportunity cost that you do lose from choosing not to invest for the rest of your life, that cost is immense. You're actually losing out on generational wealth if you're choosing to not invest. Arguably, this single habit could cost you more in opportunity cost than the rest of the habits. Now, I get it. Maybe your parents in the past had some trauma losing their money in the stock market, and because of that, your whole life they told you not to invest because it's risky, it's gambling. Trust me, I can relate to you. My parents have lost money immensely in the stock market, and they have always told me to never ever touch the stock market because it's basically gambling, and then just put money that you're willing to lose in there. Now, is that true? Yes and no. There's different layers to this. Yes, some of investing could be considered gambling, especially if you day trade and especially if you do single stocks or such. However, if your investments consist of index funds and is diversified and is safe for the long term, in that scenario, you are not gambling. You are building generational wealth for you and your future family. So please, don't let generational trauma ruin your chances at building your generational wealth moving forward. With that said, that leads me to the next topic. That's actually very relevant to this one, and it's gonna be day trading. Oh boy, you already know, it's gonna be in S tier. Now, you know how I said that day trading was essentially gambling earlier? Well, arguably, yes, that could be true, especially for most people. Did you know that the majority of people who try day trading, they just end up losing their money, and only a few are actually able to turn a profit? A very small few, as a matter of fact. That is how horrendous your chances are at making money from this. If you actively try a day trade, your chances of losing your money continuously are very high, which is why it could keep you broke and might potentially ruin your life. And this goes for the crypto market as well. More specifically, the degen crypto market, aka day trading meme coins. I've been down that path myself, and I'm telling you, it's very degenerate. You could lose a lot of money, and I see a potential for it to ruin your life, as a matter of fact. Now yes, some people are still able to make money in those fields, but you, an average person, is very unlikely. You're probably more likely to lose your money than to make money in these fields. So please listen to me when I say that as a past crypto day trader myself, don't do it. Just instead, invest in the long term, invest into index fund, invest into more diversified funds. That is the smarter financial choice. And as a matter of fact, it's proven to be the smarter financial choice. And next up, we got gambling. Oh boy, you already know, S tier. I know we've talked about gambling earlier, but now we can specifically dive into gambling. For those of you who are curious as to why this is S tier, I'm a little bit concerned because it's very apparent why gambling is S tier. Gambling is arguably worse than day trading and honestly everything else on this list because of the fact that it's very, very highly addictive. People ruin their lives over this. People go to rehab for this. That's how serious it actually is. And remember, the house always wins when you gamble. But despite knowing that, a lot of people still go to gambling casinos hoping to become a millionaire. And in that process, they ruin their lives. And with that said, the next time that you feel the need to gamble and you have to do it, just don't. Lastly, we got buying cars. More specifically, luxury cars, especially when you don't have money. Now, for this one, like many other habits on this list, it's gonna go on S tier. Why? Well, it's because of the fact that cars will depreciate no matter what you do. The moment that you drive it off the lot, it's gonna go down in price. A lot of Americans still have the misconception that cars are assets simply because of the fact that they can sell it for a certain amount of money. But that's wrong. Cars are liabilities because of the fact that it goes down in value every single day that you own it. And in this case, luxury cars is even worse. It's like 2 times worse. There's a reason why you can find an old BMW for like 10K when the new ones go for like 50, 60, 70K. That's a crazy change in price. And that's because the luxury cars, they go down in value really fast because people, they don't want them. They're not that reliable. They're more likely to break down and they cost a lot to maintain and they cost a lot to even fuel up. It's insane. Which is why if you're an average American and you can't afford these luxury cars, they could be the #1 wealth killer to your family. If you're in the market for a new car right now, first off, just please remember the purpose of a car is to get you from point A to point B. And maybe with AC in between those point A to point B. That's it. That's all you need from a car. So with that said, you could just buy a car to serve those functions. And that's it. AKA, you could get a Toyota or Honda for cheap. And plus, they're reliable. That means that their insurance is going to be lower. They're going to cost less to maintain. And that's going to save you so much money in the long term. And they also depreciate less because of the fact that they're reliable. That's amazing. And with that said, that brings me to the end of the video. And I just want to leave you with this. The scary thing about these bad habits is that they don't destroy your finances overnight. It happens slowly but surely over your lifetime. And it will destroy your finances. But the good news is that you could turn your finances 180 if you just get rid of these bad financial habits. It's as simple as that. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more investment and more financial videos just like this one. And be sure to comment down below and let us know. What is the worst financial habit that you think people have at the moment? And lastly, I think you should watch this next video that I've made about normalized habits that keeps people broke in 2026. And with all of that said, I wish you the very best in your financial journey. Anyways, that's about it. Bye.